The weather had changed at the Tour de France and we were heading into a day that could have been for the sprinters, maybe the breakaway riders, and one to test the GC riders if the wind was blowing. Nerves were abound, pressure was on for those who hadn't won yet. Those who wanted to preserve what they'd gained or saved in the time trial were out there and ready to go. All in wet weather gear as well, as the rain poured at the start. Start in Semur-en-Haute-Soie, heading to Colombey-les-Deux-Églises, final resting place of the late General de Gaulle. 183.4 kilometres, 2,500 metres to climb, and plenty of ups and downs throughout the day, with the wind, for the most part, blowing across the road. Stage 8 of the Tour saw a brand new GC. The order of the top three was the same. Outside of that, Roglic had moved up to fourth, and the difference between first and second was now down to 33 seconds. Tadej Pogačar in yellow, but Evenepoel, having won the time trial the day before, getting closer. Several riders got close to three up the road in the first few pedal strokes. Paulus and a teammate Bissiger of EF Education Easy Post, joined by Jonas Abrahamsson, they very quickly had 2.5 minutes. Behind though, EF was still up to no good. They really wanted to attack the race, and it was a pleasure to watch. Alberto Bettiol trying to lead out Ben Healy. Up the road, two mates still waiting, and Abrahamsson adding to his King of the Mountains lead. Healy, Van Gils, Bourgodeau and the rest. Williams trying to be involved, but would they be able to get across? Still over a minute to close here, with around 30 kilometres ridden. There were a few splits developing behind. Some of the sprinters were already losing contact, but losing contact at the front of the race were Paulus and his mate Bissiger. They sat up, and very soon it was 5 minutes the gap to the solitary man up the road, who remained Abrahamsson. A full 20 points in the intermediate sprint went to him, and then a perfectly engineered intermediate sprint from Intermarché, taking first and second and denying extra points to those chasing them behind. Biniam Girmay was really in the box seat. Into the final 70 kilometres, still over 5 minutes at this point for Jonas Abrahamsson. Would he make it? There'd be a few crashes and niggly moments behind. Warren Barguil involved in this one. A split that needed repairing, but that will be stitched together a little further up the road. Good news for Mathieu van der Poel and the rest caught out. Inside 60 kilometres to go. Tributes to General de Gaulle. And at the front, well, inside the final 25 Ks, after hard work from several teams, it was better news for the chasers. They were about to catch Jonas Abrahamsson. Several big-name riders being dropped, including Michael Matthews. And the Norwegian in the polka dot jersey, who has enough points to stay there till at least Wednesday now, would be caught after a sterling effort with 14 kilometres to go. So to the final few kilometres. Not everybody involved. Movements, crashes, comings together. It will be a nervous one. Uphill in the final kilometre as well. All about having the legs and timing that sprint right. Brian Coquard was being led out by Cofidis, who hadn't won a bunch sprint at the Tour since 2006. There were opportunities too, with Mezgec trying to be up there for J.K. Lula, looking around with nobody to lead out. Aramburu was in the mix, but there, as well as Arnaud Delis, you could see waiting Jasper Philipsen. This, though, was a perfect finish, on paper at least, for Biniam Girmay. He followed the wheels. He did everything right once more. Brian Coquard, the chosen wheel to follow, and when it got to inside 200 metres to go, he still waited. 150 to go, then that's where he went. In the green jersey, at the front, under pressure all the way from Delis and from Philipsen, with Ackermann challenging, nobody could lay a finger on Biniam Girmay. A second victory in this first Tour de France week, and overall control in the green jersey competition. Bini bringing his best again, and Intermarché on cloud 9. Celebration for Andermatt and Biniam Girmay. And in the car, they knew they'd done it again. It's a nervous stage. Not everybody there to contest the sprint, but those who did were taught a lesson once more by the Eritrean superstar. This is Girmay's moment. A second stage win at this tour, and the green jersey a very comfortable fit. Girmay, Philipsen and De Lee, with Ackermann, Vonenberg in the top 5. Gibbons, Turgis, Wright, Aramburu and Evenepoel sneaking into the top 10. Stage 8 to Girmay. Another day on the podium and another day in the green jersey. The standings looking brilliant for him now. Very, very tough to see a challenge being mounted without a couple of stage wins for somebody else. And in the yellow jersey competition, the Tour de France is still led by Tadej Pogačar, going into the gravel stage on day 9. It's 33 seconds over Evenepoel, just over a minute back to Jonas Vingegaard. Trois to Trois, 199 kilometres, a day in Champagne. But who'll be popping the corks? They'll be hoping the tyres won't be popping. 14 gravelled sectors to take on. This is a really tough day. One that's been recon checked, but they've got to perform on the day. A Champagne finish to the opening week, and it takes place in Troyes. You'll be able to see it live and on demand on Eurosport and Discovery+.